What's up, guys, and welcome to episode 5 of Spill the Key. Today we are talking about the topic gearing, since in the next patch Titan Forging and random socket procs will be removed from the game. And I think it's pretty interesting to talk about the topic gearing in general, and that's what we're gonna do today. And since I used the example of
Okay.
Titan Forging and socket procs in the beginning, we might as well start off with that point, if you're fine with that.
Yeah, sure. So in 8.3, as you said before, we won't have random item level procs and we won't have socket procs. That's a really sensitive topic that players argue a lot about, and I think we talked about it a little bit in the last episode. But I think it's fair to say that we are both very happy that those two things are getting removed. Even though we are playing a lot of Mythic Plus and we have a chance of high item level items dropping here, we still vote in favor of a change. Why is that?
Yeah, I think it's right what you said, that we are both happy that it gets removed. For me personally, it's because I think you should be rewarded with the items that are according to the content that you do. So for example, if you Mythic raid or do like the highest Mythic Plus keys, you should get the highest gear possible. And Titan Forging gives players that, for example, raid in normal mode the chance of getting items worth of the Mythic level. And I think that's just not fair. I mean, sure, it's a pretty good feeling to kill something and get an item that's like 30 or 40 item level procced, but I think that it's pretty unfair and unrewarding for people that actually play the hardest content and give their best to farm their gear, and then there are people just getting the same amount of gear for doing a lot less.
Yeah, that's a pretty common argument about that. But there are also some people are saying that if you're doing the higher content constantly, you will have a higher average item level because people won't get as lucky with their Titan Forges as you will get when just farming the higher item level loot regularly. So, do you think that's not enough? That people shouldn't be able to get those items at all?
Yeah, I think that it isn't enough because, for example, currently where there are some items that are extremely powerful, like the coral trinket from the raid, it can make a huge difference if someone goes into normal mode and procs a coral trinket on 440, on 455 item level. So sure, you have the higher overall item level if you do higher content, that's for sure. But in my opinion, having like 5 item level more than somebody else in overall is not as much impact as having like 2 weapons and 2 trinkets procced really high and the rest really low.
But I think that's a problem in WoW general. I mean, I agree with you 100%, but I think it's a problem that weapons and trinkets are so super important for your overall DPS and just for the feeling of achieving an item upgrade. For example, if I loot for 55 trousers from somewhere, I won't be nearly as excited as if I'm getting a weapon. Or for example, my DK, we talked about this earlier, looted 440 Getty Iku, the sword from King's Rest, on 440 in his first weekly chest. And I think that's like the best item I could get from that. And I was so fucking happy that it dropped that I decided, okay, that will be the odd that I'm playing.
Yeah.
So I think that's a problem in general, that weapons and trinkets are so strong compared to other items, or they just feel so much better than other items. I'm not sure if there's a way to fix that.
Yeah, that's exactly how I see it. And yeah, go ahead.
But overall, I think it's a good thing that they at least take care of that item level issue and take away that random item proccing, and instead they value different difficulties and content more. One thing that I'm a bit skeptical about is Mythic Plus, because we won't be grind. Okay, you died there, and I have no reason why. Oh, you put the boss. That's great.
No, it wasn't me who pulled the boss. The tank pulled the boss.
Play the boss now. Okay, can we not do that? Okay, I've just wiped it. Wobei wir haben keinen, we don't have a shroud, and I slipped into my German there for a second.
Can't we reset the boss?
I don't think so. I think he'll just cast the ranged blast and kill us all off.
I mean, I can Ankh and we can rest.
Okay. Just wipe it. Shaman will Ankh. Are you in a good position to Ankh? I don't see where.
Not yet. Now I can. If I die here.
Ah. Okay.
He says that I pulled the boss by accident, but I really don't think so.
Detail says it was your Wind Fury attack that attacked the boss.
My Wind Fury attack?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not sure how that should happen. I mean, I attacked him after I saw the monk running at the boss. That's when I actively hit the boss. But yeah. I mean, if it was me, okay, but it wasn't on purpose, obviously.
Thankfully, we got some video footage showing if you pulled or not. But that isn't the topic of this episode. What I was about to say, right now we farm a lot of Mythic Plus, and of course we do it mostly for score and just the feeling of achieving a good kill. Demon Hunter isn't accepting my res. I don't have a good feeling about this. And in the future we won't be able to do that because there is a fixed item level on all those items, and they won't be any better. So if there are better raid options, for example, it will be a lot more important to get those trinkets from the raid instead of just farming Mythic Plus for example, the dice from Harlan or something else.
Yeah.
There he is. Oh god, this key is so scuffed already. But let's see. Maybe we'll time it after all.
Yeah, of course we will time it. No problem.
I think I'll insert one of those polls that you can put at the side of the video, where the audience can vote on some options if we'll time it or not. Then in the end they'll see if they're right or if they were wrong.
That's a good idea. And before I continue with another point of Titan Forging that I just came up with, remember me that we will teach the audience a new German word afterwards.
Oh yeah,
so we don't forget it.
That
again. Another negative point of Titan Forging for me personally is that it takes away the possibility to get your truly best in slot in every slot that you have. So, you know, you always can hope for another Titan Forge, and it's pretty much impossible to get the highest Titan Forge in every slot with the perfect item. And for me personally, it's something nice to have like the items that you can farm and they can't Titan Forge. So you just farm until you get all the items that are best in slot for you, and then you're done. And then you know I got the best gear. And everything else that you achieve from there onwards is just pure skill and like, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. I can't find the word. It's like
Yeah, I don't think we have
You
to
see the
find
point.
exact word.
You see the
Yeah,
point
and
that
I
I'm
think
making.
that's a really good point. I think that's a reason why a lot of people went back to Classic, because that was one really great thing that you could do in Classic. You could calculate your best installed list, and you knew which items you had to grind, and if you finally got one of those, you were really happy.
Yeah, exactly. Dedication. It's the word I was looking for. Yeah, and I really liked it. And I think that Titan Forging absolutely removed that feeling from the game, for me personally.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that 100%. And also, I mean, it's so frustrating. I mean, I'm playing a lot this season, this patch, in every single aspect of the game. I played some PvP in the beginning. I played a lot of Raid. I played a lot of Mythic Plus, and still I haven't gotten one truly BIS item yet, and I think that's a little bit too hard. I think they could find some common ground in the middle, where you had some element of randomness, like they do with the next patch and corruption. But this Titan Forging and War Forging is just a mess, and I'm so happy it gets deleted.
Yeah. Can you
I can't hear you now.
Can you think of a gearing system in the past that you really liked? That you like want to come back or something like that?
I mean, it's a problem that you are so nostalgic about different episodes in the past, so that you just forget about the bad things and only remember the good things. But the badge system in Wrath of Lich King was really good, in my opinion. You had those different sources where you could get these emblems, or badges, or however they were called, I forgot.
Mhm.
And then there were different vendors where you could buy a set list of items that were pretty strong for the most specs. So you had a really good basis of items that you could just buy from the vendor if you put enough effort into the game on a weekly basis.
And do you think
And I
they
think-
should bring that back or do something similar but new?
I think they're doing something similar in where they allow you to play different kinds of content, and depending on what content you play, there will be a higher chance of items from that content in your weekly chest. I think that comes close to the system and embraces the good parts of it while taking away the pure staticness of it, and still having some random element in it, which is fine as well, because as long as something's random, you can get surprised. You can get positively surprised.
Yeah. I'm really happy that they at least go in the right direction from my point of view.
Yeah, is there some gearing system you really liked?
I really liked the system that they had with PvP vendors in past expansions. I just liked grinding stuff out. It's pretty much similar to the badge system that you just mentioned. I mean, you just played a lot of PvP and farmed your conquest points or whatever and bought the pieces that you wanted. But I just really like when it's not bound to RNG. I just hate that I can't work towards my gear in a way where I can say, okay, I want to buy pants really bad, and I can farm my points and I can buy my pants and be done with it. And I got Tempest. Okay, that's my bad. And yeah, so you constantly play the content as you would do in past expansions, but you can't really be certain that you will get the piece that you really want. So it's always RNG, and you could play the whole season and be really unlucky and just never get pants from playing Arena, for example. And that's just something, in my opinion, that's really unrewarding and shouldn't be in the game in that way.
I never played too much PvP, but I played some in every single expansion. And I must say that the gearing system in BFA now is the worst that I could think of.
Yeah.
Just because randomly after some runs or some arena games, you get an item, and it could be really good or it could be complete garbage, and you don't have any point in choosing what you're getting, and that's just horrible. I mean, okay. We weren't clear about how we would do that skipping. I'm in fight. I have no reason why, but I'm in fight.
Yeah, just die, I can rest you.
Okay.
I hope I can reach you from here.
Tanks in fight as well.
Yeah, he
okay.
wanted to pull to the side.
I come. Oh, I thought it was the rogue. Never mind.
Yeah, it's good. I reach you.
It was my deferred sentence. The trinket from court, which heals when I'm moving, and I didn't pre-move, so I healed the rogue when he was running. But I wasn't stealth. Usually that shouldn't put aggro on me, but whatever. Things aren't always working as intended, or as we know them to work. Doesn't matter at all. There's a fish feast if you wanna buff up.
Yeah. If it's still there after this fight, I will. I got aggro.
As you always do.
Yeah, skittish is pretty much my nemesis. In Shadowlands there will be the new legendary system. Do you like this idea of the legendary system, or did you like different legendary system in the past more?
I'm not sure yet. I think we can all agree that it can only be better than the Legion legendary system, where there were so many legendaries that they didn't even feel legendary.
Yeah.
And also, you just got them randomly throughout the expansion, and you didn't have any initiative in deciding which legendary you wanted to get, and for which spec. Okay, you could influence the spec, but you couldn't influence the slot, the effect. You just had to be lucky. I mean, that went so far that people from high level guilds played multiple alts of the same class, just so that they would get lucky on one of them and get the right legendary items. And I think that's complete garbage and shouldn't be invented in that manner. I think it stems from the point that in the past a lot of people weren't able to get any legendaries because they were so hard to get, and now they wanted to give players the opportunity to get a legendary even if they weren't doing some high content or some really long quest chain or stuff like that. But I think that was the wrong attempt. I think what they're doing in Shadowlands is a lot better, because you can influence what slot your legendary will be on, which effect you will have, maybe even the stats that will be on that item.
So, was there any legendary system that you liked particularly? Like the random drops in Burning Crusade, or the quest line legendaries in Wrath of the Lich King or something?
When I'm thinking about it, I'm currently, as you know, doing the quest chain for Shadow. Okay.
Yeah.
And I think that's fun because you had to play the different bosses with some kind of drawback or something hard to do extra to killing the boss, and I think that's a really fun way. I'm not sure if I'm completely sold on the idea that only one player in the raid can get the legendary at a time, and then you'll have to wait for that person to finish and hope that they finish. For example, in my raiding guild in Cataclysm, we had 2 Shadow Priests, I think, that started the quest chain for the stuff from Firelands, and they abandoned it mid-progress. Stop raiding, and that really hurt our progress because that stuff was so fucking strong.
Yeah, of course.
And I think that's really unfortunate, but I like the idea. I think there will be some options to make it a lot better and less punishing if your players decide that they don't want to pursue it anymore. But overall, it was a nice idea. I think the drop legendaries from Classic weren't so good, because just randomly waiting for a drop and then buying a whole ton of materials doesn't seem too engaging for me. What do you think about the legendaries in the past?
I think that every system sort of had its own charm to it. Of course, it's really unfair if you have drop legendaries, especially like you had them in Burning Crusade, where not every class got to get one. I mean, that's pretty unfair for the other classes. The other way around in Legion, where everyone had lots of them, it wasn't good either, in my opinion. Especially for me, I started as a Resto Shaman in Legion and got some legendaries there. And if you remember, in the beginning it was really hard to get legendaries after you got your second one, I think it was. And I had like 3 or 4 resto legendaries and rerolled 2 enhancement. And it took so long to get the gloves that were best in slot for enhancement. It was my 15th legendary that I got.
Oh god.
And that was
awful.
just so frustrating. And I did a lot of content. I did Mythic Plus, I did every invasion point and greater invasion point. I logged on like every 6 hours or so, what it was, when new invasion points spawned. During the night, I did fucking everything to get these gloves. And still I had to wait until my 15th legendary to get them. So yeah, I really, really hate that system. And I'm really glad it's gone.
I mean, it sticks to my memory, doesn't it? Because I also that my was the ring, Cephas, I think it was called.
Yeah.
That gave you some haste on interrupts, I think. And
yes.
Before it did that, it only gave you haste on CCs, I think. So it was completely useless on every single boss fight because it didn't work on interrupts and only on hard CCs.
Yeah, some of the legendaries are really shit in the beginning. Like Prides, before its buff, was like a pretty bad trinket. So there were a lot of them that got changed afterwards, which was a good thing.
I mean, Prides was super strong in Mythic Plus when it finally came out.
Yeah.
Because you needed it to push high keys.
Yeah.
Which also is a difficult thing for legendaries if you need them for some kind of content.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue that at the end of the expansion you probably had every legendary available to you, but then there are always new players and people that want to play their alt. And then you have your alt and it has no legendary, and if you don't get the right legendary in the first 2 ones, then you're pretty much screwed. So, yeah.
Yeah, some interesting idea that just came to my mind is that in late Legion there was this new currency that dropped from every kind of content.
Yeah.
And you could just save it up and then buy a legendary of your choice, which was a really good thing, I think.
Yeah, but it was way too late.
Yeah, but now hear me out. What if they put some system to work in the current content to give you the same mechanic for essences, so that you could just play some kind of content and get some currency from it, and then... Oh my god, what is he doing? Okay, we're just playing this, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could just get some form of currency from the content you're doing and then buy some essences from the game that you don't have to grind out. Like, for example, you don't have to do the grind for Blood of the Enemy, and instead you could just do a whole lot of Mythic Plus and then at some point just buy Blood of the Enemy, so that people that don't have it yet can have it for 8.3.
So are you saying you can buy the specific essence or like a token and roll a random one?
I think you should be able to buy the specific one.
It was random in Legion, right? So, or could you buy the specific one? I don't remember really.
I think you could buy a specific one.
Okay. Yeah, then. Yeah, sure, that would be a great idea. So
Yeah, I think so too.
you are not
Blizzard, hear me out.
you're not bound to do content that you don't want to do. So you can.
Okay, tune the cage, please. Oh, okay, Paralysis works too. Yeah, because I mean oh, okay, you put. Just die. I can rest. This run is so weird.
Yeah, it's pretty much all over the place. I'm doing mistakes left and right, and groups
Yeah, we're all
fucking up
doing
here and there.
mistakes.
Yeah, but actually the shrine is pretty easy this week.
Yeah,
Okay,
it is.
there's the random Twitch follow during the recording. Not even streaming.
Hello, random Twitch follower.
Hey.
I'm
Unfortunately, I
if
couldn't
you'll
read.
see this video and then see himself on screen.
Maybe. So if you see it, welcome and thanks for the follow. I couldn't read your name right now, but thank you anyways.
Okay, he didn't take tank the tentacle at all, so it just randomly smashed around. I think he got it now. Yeah, because back to the topic, a lot of people complain, and I'm including you and me in this. The biggest problem of 8.3 at the moment is 8.2. Just because if you come back for 8.3 because you couldn't be asked to do all this essence grind, you're running into the same wall in the next patch because you still need these essences to do anything.
Yeah, that's true. But I think that's a really good idea that you had to solve this problem in some way. I always like the idea of giving people the ability to play the content that they want to play and not force them into doing content that they don't enjoy, which is pretty badly handled in BFA in my opinion.
Yeah, that's true. And I think it's
sorry.
the same. It's the same about here. Okay, yeah, just say what you want to say.
Yeah, it's to this point directly. I just wanted to add that you are able to play the content that you want and only that content, but you never have the best character that you can have that way. You will always be like mediocre or like good, but you're not gonna be the best, and that's something that I really don't like.
Yeah, I can't stand to lose a whole lot of DPS compared to other players just because I couldn't be asked to do the 30k or earlier in the expansion 50k on a grind for Blood of the Enemy, for example.
Exactly.
I mean, I finally did it at some point when they nerfed it, but still, I didn't enjoy it at all. It was... no, I just hated it. I wanted to play good PvE and I had to spam hours and hours of PvP just so that I could finally go back to the content that I enjoy. And now I'm leveling a whole lot of alts for the next patch because I'm not sure which one I'm going to play. And I'm back to the same problem, only that I have to do it on multiple characters. And I definitely won't do that.
Isn't that nice? Now you can grind it on 5 characters.
Oh yeah, great. I mean, most PvEers waited for the Arathi Basin PvE brawl, so they could play at least some PvE. But still, it was so much time just wasted so that they could get the essence.
Just jump down in the water.
Yeah, I wanted to pick up the orbs first though.
Yeah, there are new ones as well. If you want to take
Oh my god! Die! Oh no, I won't. I'm a god player. Couldn't get out of the pool, but still.
Stuck in a puddle, calls himself a god player.
Yeah, just suck for things. Okay, what did I want to say? Yeah, I was thinking about maining the Demon Hunter just because I didn't have to grind Blood of the Enemy and could just play Focusing Iris, which I get passively from playing Mythic Class anyways.
Yeah. I think that gearing shouldn't be the factor that decides your class or makes you decide for one class.
Yeah, you should think, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, so another thing we talked about was PvP gear, but not only the way you get it, but also same as with essences. If you are raiding at a top level, you have to do PvP.
He's mind
get...
controlled. I hex him. We need to hard to see him.
Yeah.
Bloodlust. Should we lust this to secure the boss?
Yeah, lust it.
You sure? Or should we kill him?
Oh god.
I mean, we can kill him as well.
I mean, he has 750k. Just kill the boss. We can do it. I'm certain if I don't get stunned.
I will kill the Demon Hunter. I think that's... He's casting so much. I'll stun him. My god. I'll interrupt the next on Demon Hunter. Okay.
Should I res him? I think so.
Yeah,
just so
probably.
we don't lose any more time. We got no CR for last boss though, so don't fuck up your kicks.
Who needs a combat rest?
I do if you fuck up the kicks, as I just said. Okay, we got 9 minutes left. I think we don't have enough trash though. To be fair.
Pretty close. But maybe we got enough time to go back and do trash if we missed some.
Oh god, I really dislike that. But let me just check. I mean, I'm faster than all of you guys anyway, so I can just stop and click around in MDT. 13.67, we don't have enough.
Yeah.
Because he skipped a bridge pack. Okay, do the right one first. Can you do the first kick on circle?
Yes.
Because I don't think the others will do it.
I just kicked a little early, so we don't waste the kick.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. Oh, okay, Demon Hunter kicked also. We only have one kick now. That's just unlucky.
Yeah, it happens.
And that's why you should group up and go into voice, as we talked about in the packing episode. So go back and watch it if you
missed it.
wanna wanna hear more about it. Make the at after boss, and we will have summon. I'm not sure what he's talking about.
Yeah, same. Do you miss the... Why? I said in the last episode we always start talking at the same time. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, what I wanted to talk about for a second is PvP gear. Because right now, if you're playing top PvE content, you also have to be really good in PvP for some items that you only get that way. For example, the best comp for Ellie Shaman, the chest piece that you need for that comp only drops from PvP at the moment. You have to do it. And so you can get it on a high item level, you have to do it at a really high skill level as well. And I think that's just a really bad thing. And the same thing goes the other way around. If you're going into really high PvP, you need some pieces from PvE as well. And I think they should be mutually exclusive, just so you don't have to play content that you don't enjoy.
Yeah, same thing with the tank trinkets that are pretty much mandatory for some specs to push high arenas. I think that's also something that just shouldn't even exist. And you maybe could go back to a PvP vendor system and make it to where PvP trinkets just don't function in PvE, and the other way around as well. And maybe give the vendor like the PvP trinkets at a base state with like a certain item level to buy for people, like for 10 gold or something. And the higher you get in rating and the more points you get, you can buy the trinket at a higher item level or something like that. So you don't have to do PvE content and farm trinkets that are for a different role set that you play just to be competitive in PvP, and the other way around. I mean, like the main stat and on-use burst trinket is pretty insane if you get a high proc on that for some specs, and I think that shouldn't be the way that it works.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. That's just bullshit, and I think it's fine if you don't force people to play content that they don't want to play, just because they have to get items from that. I mean, if you're interested in playing Arena, you will play it even if there isn't an item incentive.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you don't want to play it, I think that should be fine as well.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm, if I want to push to 2.1 this season for the PvP enchant, and I'm still thinking about doing that, I just play Guardian Druid anyways, so I can just sit there, heal all the time, and still do most damage in the entire arena. Just because that's how Guardian Druid works at the moment. But not all people can do that. Some people actually have to have some brain to do that.
Yeah, I just think that it's a pretty fucked up system as it is right now, and I think there are a lot of changes that should be made, and I hope that they will make those changes.
God, we get another phase. Are you serious? I wasn't able to DPS much in one of the phases just because people stood in so many tentacles that they got so much damage that I actually had to heal.
Yeah, I saw that.
That took away the time I needed to DPS the boss in the last phase. So I just hope you don't mess up the kicks now.
Yeah, I just clipped the first interrupt by a millisecond.
Okay, really good.
But you weren't in our phase anyway at that point. Just wanted to kick the first one to be safe.
Oh, I nearly got hit by a tentacle there.
Another point we didn't talk about yet are the set bonuses that we had on gear. Do you like the system and think that it should come back? Or are you glad that it's gone?
I think I'm a little bit sad that they are gone, because it was a really great feeling that you, when you finally finished your 2-set or 4-set bonus and got some big push. But there were a lot of problems with that system too, because for specs, for example, bonuses were just straight up garbage and you didn't use them, so it didn't feel good to get those pieces if you didn't equip them anyways. And also, maybe you got a really high Titan Forge on one slot of gear, but you couldn't equip it because you would lose your set bonus.
Yeah.
And that's a really bad thing. So if they manage to invent something where you could also get tier set like bonuses, but not bound on specific slots on your gear, I think that would be a really good thing. Just so you could maybe get some tokens, and if you get a nice item level gear piece from the raid, you can just use a token on it and it will count towards your set bonus.
Yeah. Yeah, true. I mean, I just like that you had a new playstyle like every raid tier. So depending on what set bonus you had, you always played your spec differently, and I really enjoyed that. And yeah, I'd say I'm not that happy that they removed the set bonuses, and I'd like to see them come back in future expansions. But
yeah, now they are still debating if they if they should put them back into the game in Shadowlands. They won't do it for the first raid here, I think, but maybe for a later one.
Can we please not deplete this key now, right here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to hear you through, but
yeah, he should tank them.
We added both packs. Just kill the cultist.
Yeah, he's not enough.
Oh god. Okay.
About
I can't hear you. All of you.
Kill this one. Kill Skull. Just kill Skull.
Okay. Yeah, that is timed.
Yeah, easy in time, no problem.
Oh my god. So
Not even
if you
close.
clicked on the yes option in the poll, thanks for believing into us. I really didn't, to be honest, because I was so scuffed. But I think the enhanced damage just saved us there.
I mean, it shows that Shrine is really not the hardest key this week. So if you plan on timing a higher Shrine, do it this week. It's a
Yeah,
good
I
week
think
to do
it's
so.
an even better week to do it than Push Week was.
Yeah, think so too. And we forgot again, we should teach them some German words.
I mean, we got some time left, so we can just do it now.
Yeah, do we have one?
I think they think of me as some kind of always eating the worst stuff person, but I'm again thinking about something to eat.
Okay.
I did last time, but this time it's not a treat, but it's actually something healthy, and that's kale, or as we say in Germany, Grünkohl. I think that's one of my favorite things to eat, and really specific to one season. And also, I think it's just funny how basic it is described, because Grünkohl doesn't mean anything other than green cabbage. And yeah, I think it doesn't get any more basic than that. Oh, I got a temple, by the way.
Pretty interesting choice for a German word, but mine's pretty uncreative again. So you're sticking to a food, I'm sticking to not being creative. And my German word is Verstärkung, which is enhancement in English. And the German viewers will of course know what it is, but since I'm an enhancement channel, I thought you might want to know what it is in German. And a little information for you. I played 3 keys today, and I got 3 caster trinkets. I got the Voodoo Doll, I got the Nautilus from Siege, and now I got the Conch from here.
435, I mean, too bad.
Yeah, Elemental main incoming.
Another interesting thing about enhancement or Verstärkung. Verstärkung is also the German word for reinforcements.
Yeah,
like in a
true.
military sense, and I think that's pretty describing of an enhancer shaman as well, because you bring your utility, you also bring the Earth Ally as your personal reinforcement. And I think that's just a fun loop.
Yeah, my totems are my little army of reinforcement. So yeah.
Well, anyways, I think that we should stop talking now.
Yeah, I mean, we could go on for some minutes. Maybe the people want to watch that.
Yeah, as we always say, thank you really much for watching. Please comment and let us know what you want us to talk about, and what topics are you interested in. Do you also want us to talk about some real life things, or stick strictly to the game? Yeah, just let us have your input. And yeah, do you have any last words?
I just want to say thank you for watching the series, and of course the feedback always gets more and more step by step with every episode, and I really like that. I've seen all your comments and I've answered pretty much all of them, and yeah, I just suggest you keep commenting and giving us feedback, and with that being said, we will see you in the next episode. Thank you for watching.
Bye bye.